Hi folks, Sty North. Well, this video shouldn't be a very long one. Um, one of my viewers left a suggestion, and this was kind of an odd one. Out of all the suggestions, this one was kind of odd because, well, I don't know. He must just want my take on something. But Gary Irwin is the viewer that left this suggestion. He suggested that I do a video on good reasons not to go skydiving. Well, okay, let's do some good reasons not to go skydiving. Let's see. First of all, my first good and probably my most strong feeling about skydiving is jumping out of an airplane with a bed sheet strapped to my back. Scares the bejesus out of me. Ain't gonna do it. That's the only reason Sty needs not to jump out of an airplane with a sheet tied to his back, is it scares me to death. Now, I'm not afraid of heights, but I'll give you some other reasons. I've flown a lot. I've flown many times, both privately and commercially. Now, I used to fly commercially for my work all the time. I'd take anywhere from 5 to 10 long distance flights every year for over 20 years. So, yeah, I have a lot of commercial flying. Oh boy, I could tell a lot of stories about some of those flights, but that's not the purpose of this video. This purpose is good reasons not to go skydiving. Okay. Now, private airplanes are a whole different story, and there's stories to go with that too. Now, skydiving. First of all, one good reason to go skydiving is I have only been in just one airplane in my whole life. With all the flying I've done, only one airplane have I been in that even had a parachute in it. Now, that's a good reason not to go skydiving, because most planes don't have parachutes in them. That's one of those skills you're going to learn that you probably won't get to use. Even if you need to use it, the equipment's not going to be there for you to use. So why go skydiving when you're not going to be in a plane that has a parachute in the first place? To me, that's a good reason not to go skydiving. Another one is Mother Nature. If we were supposed to be up there floating around in the clouds, we'd be able to do that without a parachute. Mother Nature didn't intend on us jumping out of or off of things without us going splat. That's what Mother Nature intends, is for us to go splat. And if Mother Nature can find a way, she'll mess up your jump, I guarantee it. The wind's going to blow. It's going to blow the wrong way, or it's going to blow too hard, or a storm's going to roll in, or you're going to land in the forest and break your neck, or you're going to land out in the middle of the water somewhere with a great big old sheet tied to your back and a bunch of strings, a bunch of paracord, and you're all tangled up and you're going to drown. Now, that's the thing. That's a good reason not to parachute, to me, is what if? The what ifs are too many. There's too many what ifs as far as I'm concerned. Now, what if you landed in the water and you're all tangled up in paracord and a big sheet? Are you wearing a life jacket? How many people jump out of the airplane with a parachute and with a life jacket? And with a good bushcrafting knife to cut all that paracord loose off of you. No, too many ifs. What if it doesn't open? That old saying, you know. What if my chute doesn't open? There's no what if. If your chute doesn't open, if you're lucky, you've got an emergency chute. You've got a secondary chute. So you're going to deploy that. What if that doesn't open? But people ask that question. What if my chute doesn't open? Well, you're going to die. That's not even a question. Why would you even ask? What if my chute doesn't open? If my chute doesn't open, if I'm lucky, I got a minute or two to say goodbye to myself, because there ain't nothing good gonna turn out if your chute don't open. If somebody asked me that question, well, what if your chute doesn't open? I'd tell them, well, what if I push you off of a cliff? What if? I mean, what do you think's going to happen? So there's another good reason not to go skydiving for me. Okay. Now, with all of those what ifs, I told a friend of mine, he's a commercial pilot, and he owns a private plane, and I used to fly with him. We would fly from western Montana to Spokane, Washington, and then he'd take off on his commercial flights. He flew for Flying Tigers, and it was freight. He flew 747s packed full of freight, not people. Well, one time we're flying out to Spokane, and we ran into some bad weather, and it's beating that little plane up. I mean, we're bouncing all over, up and down, and bouncing all over, and this and that. And he says, boy, I bet you wish you had a parachute today. I said, are you kidding? I said, if you said, no, we're going down, I wouldn't jump out. I would not jump out. You have that parachute open up out in that kind of weather, that's going to blow you down into the woods, because we're going over the mountains, and it's all timber covered. Everything's nothing but big, tall pines, and it's rocks and pines all over. Well, it's going to, in that weather, if you're in a parachute, that's going to drag you across every tree for 15 miles, beat you to death. You're not going to die from the fall. You're going to die from getting beat to death on all the trees and rocks and everything that it's going to drag you across. Good reason not to parachute, to go skydiving. Now, I'll dive off of a diving board into a swimming pool. I'll dive off of a small cliff into a lake or river. To me, that's skydiving. That's up in the sky. That's skydiving. Getting in an airplane and jumping out of it with a sheet strapped to your back, that's stupid. my sympathy is to all those that are skydivers out there saying, oh, that stupid old Sty, he don't know nothing. He doesn't even know what's fun, the exhilaration of it, the adrenaline rush. Hey, there's a lot of things in my life give me a lot of exhilaration and a lot of adrenaline rushes, but none of them involve going splat. I avoid that all I can. But that's me. So there's some reasons not to skydive. No. Yeah, skydiving, that's for somebody a lot tougher than me. I'll tell you what. All them guys in the airborne are saying, ah, what a sissy. What a sissy, he wouldn't jump out of a plane. What a sissy. No, you guys jump out of the plane, get the battle started, and I'll come up from behind in a Jeep and I'll help you out. But I ain't jumping out of the plane with you guys. You guys are tougher than I am. Hey, there's Sty's take on skydiving. I ain't doing it. And as far as I'm concerned, Sty doesn't need a reason. It's just Sty's choice. And it'll always be that choice. I'm not jumping out of an airplane unless it's parked on the tarmac and it's only about a 8 or 10 foot drop to the tarmac. Then I'll jump out. I ain't jumping out of it if it's flying. And I don't need a reason for that. Okay, thanks guys for tagging along, and hope you enjoyed my take on skydiving. But thanks Gary Irwin for the suggestion, and there you go. Keep sending suggestions, folks. As you can see, I take them serious. I put them on my list, and I'll pick up on it. It might take a while because my list is getting huge, but I still love the suggestions. Please keep sending them. So, until the next video, this is Sty Norris, as always, saying you all have a very nice day. Bye-bye.